Welcome to Somewhat Awesome Films. My name is Jarrad and today I'm reviewing World of Warplanes. So no Rob, this was my game this time. However, if you would like to see Rob play, me and him both did a match together where we killed other people out of the sky. So you can check it out in the links below, which is cool, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more to come. So this is World of Warplanes, a MMO, mass multiplayer online game, and it's free, which is the coolest thing about this game. We are in the hangar at the moment, and I've just discovered that there's all this Christmas theme in here, so that's kind of cool. I didn't even know they did this. I guess I haven't been playing World of Tanks much, which was their previous game, but I bet you they did the same things in their little hangar yard or whatever they called it. But we're in the hangar. This is where you buy all your aircraft, you upgrade it, you service it, you do all your cool things ready for battle. And this game is clearly World of Warplanes. It's about warplanes. They're warplanes from back sort of World War One or after World War One, like up to the 1930s sort of era, World War Two, Cold War, all the way up to the 1960s. So we've got biplanes here, right back. So what's this? A Boeing P-12, a US Boeing P-12. So this would be like, what, 1930s or something, interwar period, whatever that is. You need to be a bit of a history or war history buff to really understand this game and to really sort of appreciate all the planes that they have and how good they've made them. Because, I mean, let's face it, this looks really cool. How cool does this look? I've got my graphics turned up quite a bit, but you got to admit, the plane still looks awesome. I'm sure that everything's perfectly to scale. There's going to be no sort of military history buffs, you know, critiquing how they've done the planes in here. I'm sure that, you never know, there probably still is actually. But anyway, this is the hangar. We have all these planes, tier 1 to tier 10, and we have different countries. So I'm going to go to the tech tree, and I'm going to show you the different countries. We have USA, we have USSR, so old Russia, I guess you call it USSR. I haven't heard that for a while. Germany, Japan, and UK. So they're the big players in the old warplanes. And you've got 10 tiers, so we've got tier 1 all the way up to tier 10. You obviously, when you start this game, all you have is tier 1 planes, and I think tier 2 comes pretty quickly, but as you go, as you do matches and you kill people out of the sky, you earn experience points, which are up here, experience exchange. You've also got currency and gold, which you get from sort of killing people, and as time goes on, you can go into the store and you can buy new planes, which is great because it gives you kind of a goal to work towards. If you're starting off with something crap and you think, oh, this is a bit, you know, crud, I want to get an awesome plane. For instance, let's go and have a look at some of the tier 10 planes and figure out what they are. So what do we have here? So the US one, Chance Voigt F7U. So that's kind of cool. What was this from? Carrier base. So if you scroll over it, you can learn a little bit about it, which is cool because when I was a kid, I used to love putting together, you know, the model airplanes and tanks kind of thing. But I've forgotten all that stuff now. So by playing this game, not only can I have fun with a free game, killing people out of the sky, but I can also learn a little bit about warplanes in a history sort of manner. So anyway, as you scroll over, you can sort of discover, let's see some other tier 10s. Some of my favorite ones. Where are they? The Japanese ones are kind of funny looking. I think, out of memory, the German planes were kind of cool. That's right, the ME626 HG3s, the Messerschmitt. This is a kind of cool plane. Weird kind of thing, but it's kind of cool to, you know, look at that. How awesome. They don't make planes look that cool anymore. Or they kind of do, I guess, really, but I don't know. This was pretty awesome. So this is one of my favorites. The thing is with this, when I got this account, obviously this is a press account. This is why I've got all the planes. I haven't actually been playing this for, you know, 200 hours to get this many planes already. The Javelin was another favorite. But, you know, you've got these 10 tiers. You start off on tier 1. It takes you a long time to get to tier 10. And as you're doing that, you're learning a lot of tactics. You're learning a lot of cool things, which I didn't learn. So naturally, I dived in pretty much straight away. I picked up some of these tier 9 and tier 10 planes, started playing, and there was only a handful of other people which, you know, had sort of equivalent planes at the time, and they whooped my ass because they've been already playing for 100 hours or probably even more. They knew how to fly these things. I wasn't that good, so I died pretty easily, and I'm sure they were looking, going like, how did that guy have a Class 10 Javelin, the coolest plane ever, and he just died within the first 10 seconds? Because I sucked. Not to say that the controls are hard. I mean, the controls are really easy. It is really just control with a mouse, and then you click to fire, and there's a boost button W, and you can also do other cool things like shoot rockets and drop bombs and stuff. So it's not hard. Like I play with the mouse and keyboard. You can choose if you want to play with just a keyboard, or you can also use a joystick. I think if I'm not really a big serious PC gamer, so all I have is a pretty standard mouse and standard keyboard. I sometimes use my like Xbox controller plug-in, although I haven't tried this one yet. But I'm sure that if you had like a better keyboard and a better mouse, the controls would be, you know, pretty awesome. I found it that I had to keep moving the mouse around a little bit more. I think this game's really made for a joystick. Or some kind of controller like that, which I didn't have, unfortunately. But like I said, the controls, they're really easy. They're not hard. You're not going to be complaining about the controls. You just have to spend time learning tactics. Because, I mean, I saw a while ago some guy flew over another plane and dropped a bomb on the dude below. I don't know how he did that. I mean, bombs are really designed for killing ground targets, but that's how good some people get on this. So as time goes on, you get a lot better at flying and things get a lot easier. But to make it good, when you go into a battle, you start off on a low class. So if you start off on a class 1, so we'll just filter this here and we'll go to a class 1. P12, there you go, there's a fun one that we always start with. So when you start this, you're battling against only other people with that same sort of class, or maybe one above. So class 1, 2s, maybe 3s. So it's pretty evenly matched. When you know, flying higher classes, obviously it's, you know, it's the same sort of tiers. I had a tier 10 at one stage, and it was just 2 on 2, so it was me and one other guy on another 2 planes. So I'm sure once more people play this game and get to that level, then it will be 15 on 15. But at this stage, if you're playing higher tiers, you have to wait a long time as well. This is the thing I don't like about this game. There's long waits if you're playing a high tier. But I'm sure that over time, as more people get good and get high tier planes, it'll get a little bit better. Now the planes themselves, they're not really modelled around the original plane, so they're not. You know, I haven't got the exact physics of what the plane would have. However, they've sort of got these 3 elements about them. You've got firepower, is what it is. You're shooting people and see how cool you can sort of shoot people and how much power. You've got maneuverability, really important, because if this is all dogfighting. This is the game. You're just flying around, you're shooting people. You need to be able to maneuver really quickly. And some of the big fat planes, they don't maneuver very well. And what's our other one? Firepower. Airspeed as well, another important one, because in this game you need to fly up high. You need to get as high as you can. Different planes can go different altitudes and different speeds, but airspeed's another big one. I mean, if you're getting chased by 4 planes, some of the things I used to do is I'd just dive and I go down in between little ravines, and airspeed helped because it meant I got away. And if you've got a slow plane, you're obviously not going to have that. Interesting though, some of the tier 1 planes, like this biplane for instance, this is very maneuverable, so this is better than all the jet planes. You could have a tier 10 plane and this thing is more maneuverable. However, obviously with a tier 10 plane you're going to have a lot more firepower. You're only going to need to shoot this thing once and it blows out the sky. But it means that it's a little bit more evenly matched. You can find that you have like a favourite plane and you use that plane all the time. And you know, it might be a tier 4 or 5 plane and you can still sort of hold your own against, you know, tier 7 and 8s. Unfortunately, the game doesn't really match that way. You're usually playing against people in the same tier as yourself. But what do I think about the game? I think this is an awesome game. I reckon, you know, the graphics. Look, my computer's sort of pumped up high. You can't really see it all because unfortunately YouTube doesn't allow that. But the graphics are awesome in this game, especially for a free game. I mean, I sometimes wonder how do they make all their money on this? But I'm sure they have their ways. And I got to say, I applaud Wargaming.net. I mean, you know, for them to go out of their way to make something free, which every night I've been finding myself playing for about 15 minutes since I got it for the last like month, which is the kind of game it is. Treat it as a game which you play here and there. You're not necessarily you're not necessarily going to be playing this as if it was a Ubi, you know, Assassin's Creed or Arkham City. You're not going to be sitting down for like 20 hours on end playing this. You'll probably hop on 1 hour, 2 hours every night tops and just have a few matches. It's much better with friends. If you got friends, you're going to have so much more fun playing this because you can chatter with it. You can fight against each other in different modes. You know, I'll show you some of these modes you can do. So obviously training mode is how you learn to play the game. Standard battle is a 15 on 15, or you know the moment if you know got a higher tier plane, they'll only be 1-on-1 pretty much. And team training, which is just you and your friends fighting each other, which is really cool. And I think that's the funnest part of this game. However, you got to catch your friends at the same time. But like I said, graphics fantastic. The game's pretty simple. The controls are simple. But it takes quite a while to learn all the tactics and to become a real master at this. But I think it's just fantastic for just hopping on and having a bit of a play when there's nothing else to do. Hop on here. Yes, you can put in money. You can buy gold, and you can actually spend money to buy more planes. You can get a premium account, which gives you some different upgrades and some cool little features in there, and you pay for all this stuff. But I mean, considering that I go onto my Android device and I download games all the time, they're asking, spend money on this, spend money on this. This game doesn't do this. You don't need to ever buy anything in this game, and you'll just have just as good an experience as everyone else. So I think this is a fantastic little game, and for that reason I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Go download it. You've got nothing to lose except for maybe disk space, which is only 5 gigs anyway, but you've got nothing to lose, no money. Just hop on, learn a little bit of military history, and shoot people out the sky, which is always fun. So thank you for watching. Go check out some of Rob and I, or the videos of Rob and I killing each other or killing other people, because they'll keep coming and I think they're cool, and hopefully you do too. Hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.